first off, I think that have to give LSU a lot of credit. I think they really played well in the game. They made plays when they had to make plays on offense, and they're a very, very good team. Great crowd, great atmosphere. Thank our fans for the support that they give us. And bottom line is, especially in the first half, we didn't play very well. We don't want to waste a failure. There's a lot of lessons to be learned from the things that we did and didn't do today. I think that everybody's got to make a commitment to finish the season the right way. We don't really control our own destiny, but if we finish the season the right way, we can see, where it takes us. We've been in this situation before, so, I think the big thing is everybody needs to learn from the mistakes that we made today and try to get better. Obviously, the way we got started when we turned the ball over on the first drive, when we had a great drive, didn't finish it, turned over a punt, snapped, got 12 guys on the field when we get an interception and a turnover, and then, we trusted the quarterback before the half and, threw a pick, and they scored 14 points in the last 30 seconds of the first half. So, a lot to overcome, but I have to tell you that I was really, really proud of our players. In the second half, they really fought hard to get back in the game and actually got themselves back in the game. We couldn't get a stop on defense when we needed to. Had a couple opportunities to stop them and didn't. And, offensively, we certainly scored a lot of points, and onside kicks are difficult. Ball's got to bounce your way, but at least we gave ourselves a chance to win in terms of the way we fought back in the game. I'm really proud of our players for that. So, as an organization, starting with me and everybody else, we need to learn from this, do a better job, give our players a better chance to be successful, and our players got to take advantage of that by going out there and executing and making, the kind of choices and decisions that's going to help them be the best players that they can be. And I think there's a lot to be learned from that, in this game.
Start over on the left with Brett.
Not including the turnovers, what do you think your offense was missing in the first half?
We couldn't run the ball very well, which was an issue. I think we got some pressure at times in the pocket. I just don't think we executed on all cylinders. We got a few penalties, put us behind the 8 ball. And we have to have more balance and more consistency on offense. We make a lot of big plays, which is great. But when you play a team like this, who is a very good offensive team themselves, having the balance on offense, so you can control the tempo of the game with your offense, is also important. And we just didn't have that consistency in the first half, and you throw the turnovers on top of it, and we really put ourselves in a hole.
Go over on the right with Aaron.
Obviously, LSU's a really talented offensive team. As a defensive-minded coach, how frustrating is it for you that you can't get your defense to play maybe the way you want them to play?
Well, they did a lot of check with me's out there. Get the hands, see what you're in, try to run the best play. The only disappointment that we have is that we want people to do their job, and there were a few occasions where whether it was a miscommunication or maybe a player didn't take the quarterback when he was supposed to on zone read, or we didn't play the gaps exactly right. We didn't cover them correctly. We had a couple busts in the secondary that were very critical. But they do a lot of things, a lot of different formations, a lot of empty, a lot of reloads that take a lot of adjustments. We played 6 defensive backs a lot in the game, thinking that we could adjust better to that. And I think we did, but we still made some mistakes that gave them plays, and you got to give them a lot of credit. Their quarterback's a really good player. I thought we did get some pressure on them at times, but didn't finish a couple times on sacks that we had a chance to get. And I think, getting them behind the sticks is really, really important. So giving them negative plays and creating enough negative plays to do that, we probably didn't do a good enough job of that often enough in the game to try to get stops. And then we had a chance to stop them on 3rd and 10 once, and we tried to pressure him and didn't get the back covered, and got to give him a lot of credit. He ran through a guy for 4 or 5 more yards to get a first down. So
Go over here on the left with Edwin.
Could you talk about the decision with 26 seconds left and before half going for it instead of just taking a knee?
Well, you know, since the result that we got was what we got, I wish we'd have ran the ball. I wish we'd have taken a knee. You know, we had 2 timeouts. We were trying to throw a chunk play, and maybe if you hit a big play, and we have a lot of capability to do that, and we trusted the quarterback to make a good decision. You know, they played zone, guy broke on the ball and intercepted the ball. So, you know, based on what happened, I definitely, if I had to do over and I knew that was going to happen, we would have nailed on the ball. But being aggressive in the game at the time, I thought that we would throw the ball down the field and give ourselves a chance to make a big play. And even if it was a bad play, it'd be no worse than a punt. So that was obviously a mistake on our part. I take all the blame for that.
Go on
Nick,
the right.
what was your expectation for Tua from a health standpoint coming in, and then how do you think he played? Was he up to 100% capability?
Well, I think he was 100%. I think obviously missing some time, missing some practice. You know, I think that, you know, he played well. He made good plays in the game. I thought his mobility was probably not 100%, but I thought he had short area quickness in the pocket. Maybe he couldn't run, you know, 100%. Maybe it was 90%. I don't really know. But, you know, this was a medical decision and his decision. The docs cleared him to play. They cleared him to practice all week. He practiced all week. He didn't have any issues. And, you know, he said he could play in the game, and he wanted to play in the game, and he thought he could go out there and do his job. And I think he was a warrior in terms of what he did. And I think probably missing the practice that he missed over the last couple of weeks, he may not have been quite as sharp as normal, but I thought he did a good job in the game, and I'm proud of the way he competed in the game.
We'll stay over there with Ivan.
Most of the mistakes you reeled off were the first half, and it seemed like you guys settled down in the second half, your guys. Is that simply maturity? You think they maybe grew up a little bit? What do you think happened in the second half?
You know, I don't know. You know, it's really, in these kinds of games, I think it's really, really important to have the right mindset with the players. You know, there's no question about how bad they want to win. But you have to be able to focus on doing things that are going to enable you to get the result that you want. And, you know, you've heard me say this before, when you focus on outcomes, it's a distraction. You got to focus on the things you need to do to get the outcome. And sometimes when you want to do something really badly, it's very difficult to do that, especially, you know, if you're affected at all about any external factors, what you hear and what's going on. So we really tried hard to get our players to do that, but we seemed to be a little out of sorts in the first half, which I'm responsible for the mindset of our team. So I obviously didn't get that done with them. And I think at halftime, you know, we just kind of challenged everybody to say, hey, look, guys, that's probably the worst half we played all year long. We made a lot of mistakes. We're better than that. Let's everybody check their whole card and go out here and compete and play in the second half and see if we can get ourselves back in this game. And I was really pleased with the way our players did that. And they did a good job of that. And we gave ourselves, at least gave ourselves a chance. We couldn't make the plays when we needed to make them. And I was really proud of the way our players did that in the second half, and I think we played better.
Last question was Stuart.
Nick, obviously you knew, watching on tape coming in, how much Joe Burrow in particular, but that LSU offense had improved from last year. Now that you've played them, can you describe, in particular with the quarterback, how you think he's been able to make such a jump from last year to this year?
Well, I think it's the system. You know, I think it's the things that they're doing. I think it really features the players. I think he has talking about the quarterback now, Joe has a really good handle on what they're trying to do. And it's challenging to defend. And it utilizes the people that they have. And look, they have no weaknesses on offense. You know, they got a really good runner. They got a really good quarterback. They got really good receivers. They got a good offensive line. And, you know, they got a system and a scheme that's very sound and solid in terms, and they do a really good job of executing. And I can't give them enough credit for, you know, what they do. It's nothing like what they tried to do a year ago. All right, so it's completely different. and I think it features their players, and I think their players buy into it, have confidence in it, and do a great job executing. So I felt like that going into the game, and I certainly feel just as strongly about that now after having played